Hello, boys and ghouls. I have an interesting video today because a couple of weeks ago, Wolfe, aka the page nomad or whatever he calls his channel right now, has made an interesting video about him hard to write and being in a slump. And I can empathize with him because I'm really in a slump myself. Then Steve Donoghue made a great video, a great response about Camgul's video, and it was a spot-on video. I'll leave a link to all the videos below because I think this is one video you should watch. And today Regina from Regina's Haunted Library did a response video of her own about her own writing and publishing journey. And there is something that really interested me in Regina's response. She says that both she and Cam mention that they have marketing issues. And here is my response to it, because I have not published any books myself, but I have marketed. I've sold tens of thousands of books by other people, and it's mostly non-fiction. My fiction experience is mostly proven failure. So yeah, that's why I'm not doing more marketing videos, because I have failed to market a lot of fiction books. And you know what, that's not bad, because I have learned a lot by failing to publish this book, to market these books. And maybe that's a reason why I'm hesitating to press the button and go all in and publish my book. I have seen how the sausage is being made, and believe me, when you do that, you made her a vegan. But this video is about some things I've learned about marketing, and if you're having problems marketing your book, here's what I can say. And I have sold tens of thousands of books in a country of 10 million people. So yeah, I know something, right? First of all, there is one mistake a lot of authors do make, especially fiction authors. They don't understand that readers don't give a fuck about them. And you know what, when you get into fiction author drama, authors getting personal with bad reviews, or where people prefer other authors, they get touchy and they say, why not me? Then they do this mistake. They believe that people will buy their book because they are themselves. And if said authors are readers, because not all authors are readers apparently, but that's another kind of worms, you probably realize if you as an author, you're also a reader, you think of why you buy books, how you buy books, and most of the time it's not because of who the author is. You probably have some favorites, of course. You probably have some authors you buy everything from, some authors you will buy occasionally, but not every book. So yeah, that's something to consider. Maybe you have some friends, some authors you follow on Twitter, you talk to, or Facebook or whatever, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you'll buy the books to support them, even if they're not your thing. But most of the time you get books because of their cover, of their plot, their genre, because somebody recommended them to you, etc. That's how people buy books. And if an author wants to market their book, they have to understand who the people who want to buy their book is, how to reach them, and how to inform them that you want to buy this book. And let me tell you something, marketing, people believe that marketing is dirty, it's skeezy, it's tricking people into buying stuff they don't want, and yes, it is. However, if you want to do marketing, you have to understand that what you're doing is you have a product that people want, and then you go to the people who want to buy your product and you tell them this product exists. That's why you should try it or get it. And it's so easy. You're not tricking people, you're giving people something they do want. Think of marketing as this: be honest, be yourself, be truthful, and just provide people with value, and you'll succeed. However, let's get back to this thing, understanding your audience. And this is something a lot of Authortubers do. They're missing out on a lot of people who may want to buy their books, or may actually market their books to the wrong audience. I mean, I'll talk names, alright, and big names. We have people like Jenna Way and Meglator, who both had very successful Authortube channels. They did a lot of their marketing on those channels. When their books came out and people read them, they savaged them in their reviews. I mean, at this point, Meglator she was driven off YouTube for some reason. There was a lot of drama, I guess. But yeah, both those people, both those women, have an audience of authors, not new adult readers. That they were books where they were fantasy and sci-fi romances for new adult, basically. They had sex and cursing. So yeah, basically they sold their books to the wrong people, and if you're an Authortube, in order to sell books, you're fucking doing it wrong. There are some exceptions to this. If we get into non-fiction, and you're an expert on a field and you write about it, then credentials are very important. And actually, it's a good strategy for non-fiction authors to market yourself as an expert on a platform, on a blog, on social media, on TikTok, on Facebook, or on YouTube, wherever you want, and provide content this way, and also plug your book. And if people understand that you're an expert, then they want to buy your book because they trust you. And there is also a dark side to this, that sometimes writing those non-fiction books is a way to funnel more people into your more expensive services. So beware of the upsells. That's a totally different subject. I won't go there. But yes, this works. If you're writing non-fiction, then go and make a non-fiction a channel about. I mean, Chris Fox. Chris Fox is a successful fiction author, and his writing is good. I've read one of his books. I think it was exactly what it wanted to be, and it was entertaining. I still haven't read the sequels, so yeah, take it as it is. I mean, I like the guy, but his YouTube channel is about writing, about his writing journey, and he had a lot of great videos. He's not that active anymore. I think he has some personal things, and this kind of things can get pretty tricky, I guess. So yeah, he's making YouTube videos about writing. It's not there to sell his fiction books, but I think they do sell his non-fiction books, and his non-fiction books are a great reading. I've learned a lot reading them, and I had reviews for all of them. This, of course, can work for non-fiction. I mean, we have Ziran J. Zhao, who made a viral video about Disney's Mulan, the live-action film, and then she published a bestseller about a female empress of China in a sci-fi setting or something. I think it was Iron Widow. Or, you know what, even if you don't platform yourself, if you just have a bio of who you are, you have somebody like Greg Martel, who is a veteran and a lawyer, and he's writing military science fiction starring a lawyer. And yeah, I mean, he can sell this book because he knows what he's talking about, and having authority is something that helps publishing your fiction book. Yeah, there is also the other case where you're a celebrity online, you have a following, and you published a book as merchandise. But I guess that's not what you're after. But let's get to step number 2. Promote to your audience. And I think that where Cam and Regina do suffer is that they have an optimal platform for marketing their books. Especially Regina. They are talking about books. They're talking about books like the books they do write. But they don't push them. I mean, Regina, if you're still watching this, sorry for being verbose and taking my time. It will be a long video. Just make a 10 or 20 second video about your books and just have them play in your scheduled videos as a sponsorship segment sometime between the first and third minute. Just look at your analytics and see if it affects your viewership. If there is a dip when the video hits, then stop. Or people should watch if it's 10 or 20 seconds, it's a good trailer and it's not long, it changes not the same book over and over again. Just informing people that you have a book that you read, you have books, and they can hit the link and buy it, and it's a book they might enjoy because it's like the books you read. Maybe you get some sales out of it. It's free. If your videos are monetized, then you're actually being paid to advertise your books, and it can bring in some sales. Look at Jenna Way's videos, how she's doing this with the plug early in the video. But enough about this. Yes, promote your audience, it's very important. Number 3, which is ironic for me saying this because I'm not doing this in this channel, is that content is king. Meaning that if you plan to go down the road of marketing your book through free content on the internet, you should provide great and discoverable content. And it's a very long subject to go into. There are a ton of videos about how to get your videos, your blogs, your Instagram, your whatever shown. And yeah, looking at this channel and its growth, yes, I don't think I'm an expert to talk about this, especially if you're on YouTube, because I've been doing a lot of things wrong, some of them on purpose, some of them because I don't care too much about growth. Yeah, if I want to grow, I could probably read books people want to hear about and make it a grind and have videos out every 3 or 4 days about another book or a top 10 or a top 20 or a book haul or whatever, but then reading becomes a job for me and I read for fun. So I want to have a channel where I can geek out about stuff I do like, maybe throw a video like that or whatever, and don't care about this. So yeah, it's not for sales. If I was trying to build a platform for sales, this channel would be much different. As I said before, if you want to sell books through your platform, make sure that the content you make is for the people you want to engage, and make sure it's easy to find. Play with SEO, with keywords, with titles, with hooks, all that jazz. Because there are ways to get views for your channel, and if your videos are good or your blog posts are good, you're gaining followers. It's that simple. Now let's get to the elephant in the room. Something that people will be outraged about. That's why I took my sweet time. I don't know how long it is for you, but it is 16 minutes of recording for me. So you get the point. Right to market. I have marketed books that became bestsellers, and I have marketed books that flopped. The former were written to market. The latter were definitely not. One of our more successful books was a self-help book in a new line for us. We had a successful line and we wanted to expand it to a wider audience, and that meant having another line, a second line of books. So we had a meeting with the author and we had to choose 4 titles, and we went for one that contained one term that had some buzz. People were aware of it, they have heard of it, but there were no book titles about in the market. We also made a tag title for the entire series that worked. And every book after that, because we started with 3 books and then we kept adding more and more, I think we're at 9 books right now, this tagline became the concept behind every one of these books. And not every book in this series was a success. Some had good sales, some of them hobbled, and they were the ones about subjects that were already overrepresented on the market, or they were too specific to some people. I mean, we had a book about marriage. It didn't go well. There was also one that failed. And when I say fail, I mean it flopped super hard. And that one was definitely not written to market. Does this mean write predictably? Hell no. I just told you that our more successful book was the one that did its own thing. But it did hit what the audience wanted, even though if they did not know about it. It was packaged in a way that people wanted it and was promoted as a solution to a problem. So, if you as an author are like, I'm smart, I'm an artist, I want to do something of my own, that's author mistake number one. And you can do it, alright? If you want to be a author, an author who is doing their own thing, then go for it. If you're smart and you really care about your writing and you want to be recognized as a savant of writing, just go traditional publishing, because trad publishing does know there's a whole industry of constructing genius literary fiction authors that may or may not write masterpieces like Don Can Go Fuck Your One Kidney. I know how the shit's being made, alright? Litfic is just the more you... I haven't been Litfic, in this Litfic circle. Literary fiction is constructed. Alright? Yes, it's probably good books that are worth reading, but there is another aspect to it, and it is constructing this unmissable book phenomenal success. And if you went down the bad art friend rabbit hole, oh boy, you saw the dark side of it. But if you want to learn more about writing to market, please go read Chris Fox's book, Write to Market. Read his entire series. It's a very good explanation of how you can write your own book in a way that is marketable. Let's go to part 5. Invest in your career. And in order to make money, you have to spend money. And this was a lesson that it was hard for me to learn, but I did. So yeah, if you have a day job, if you have any sort of disposable income, you could always invest some of it into marketing your books. I know it's not easy, but even a small sum towards ads, maybe a newsletter placement, something like that could help. However, that's number 6, marketing is expensive. And when I say expensive, I mean, let's assume that it costs $5 to make a book sale. And probably I'm generous. That's an optimized campaign, meaning that you have a sellable book and you know what you're doing. I have seen way more than that. Believe me. I have seen way more than that.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So let's say that you sell a book for $5 because you're awesome at your marketing. And if you're on KDP, odds are you're getting $2 per sale. So if you advertise your book and you make a sale, you lose $3 per sale. Great, right? Advertise. And Regina actually had a great point because she mentions 20 books to 50k and being prolific. It's important to be prolific. And let's explain this. Let's unwrap this one. If you have a series of 6 books, each book sold means you get $2, right? Half the people that buy your first book will also buy your second. A third of those people who buy book 2 will buy book 3. And if you sell book 3, people will get 2 more books on average. Alright? That's the typical scenario. So that means that if you spend $500 to market book 1, you sell 100 copies of book 1, right? It also means that you sell 50 copies of book 2, 33 copies of book 3, and 66 copies of the other 3 books. So that means that you sold 249 books. You almost broke even. Now, if you have 33 people who went through your entire series, or most of it, and they went to one of your other series or one of your standalone books, anything you may have, because they know you, they like your style, they want more of you, that's how you make some profit. And I know it's not ideal, but that's why people on KDP write a ton of books. That's why it's a prolific author scene, because it's not feasible to make profit with one book. Once upon a time it may have been. I mean, Rule, The Martian are some sort of exceptions, but they were early successes. Nowadays, now that Amazon advertisements are open to traditionally published authors, because that's a new change in KDP, in the Amazon advertisements, oh boy, $5 for a reader is going to be a bargain. So yeah, it takes a lot of books to start to see profit. And actually here I would talk about margins, but margins don't quite apply. A margin says the cost of the product versus how much you get, the difference. But you know what, since it's an ebook, you only pay for producing the ebook, so yeah, budgeting is also very important. And with every new sale, you sort of get everything after a while, or the margins just become larger and larger till they reach the entire value of the book if you sell. Never mind, that's maths. You're an author, you're not here for maths. If you want a very simplified version, again, Chris Fox's book about marketing is a great way to go. I mean, I've been in business meetings, and I've been in business meetings with people who know business, and they will go like that, and they overcomplicate this, and I'll go to Chris Fox's formula: money spent versus money gained. Divide money gained by money spent, and you have your return of investment. Meaning that return of investment means that if I pay $1, I get $3 in. That's a ROI of 3, or whatever. That's the point. Now, prepare to have your mind blown, because we're getting to point number 7. You're not selling a book, but the promise of a book. And I know that some of you would be right, it's obvious, or some of you will have their minds blown and you try to understand, what did I say? But truth be told, if your book is great, it's not selling itself. What is selling a book is the promise that it's great, or it's entertaining, or if it's something you need. That's a total different video, come to think of it. If a book is great, it sells your next book, or your next 10 books. Authors who happen to write one great book will have success. They will have sales for most of their other books, unless they fuck up. And this is because people trust them, that they will recapture lightning in a bottle. Maybe they can weather some bad patches. So yes, marketing your book should reflect the emotion of getting a great book. They should reflect what your book is about, what it wants to evoke. Alright, if you're going for paid ads, it's very important being clear about what your book is and what it feels like. And if you go all skeezy and it's this and this, it's not going to go very far. Alright, and make sure that the aesthetic and the hook is tailor-made for your audience, or maybe for multiple audiences, because you can have a lot of audiences. For instance, Let's assume that you have a military sci-fi book with LGBTQIA characters, which is it's not a very common thing, alright? However, you can make one promo picture with what 20 books to 50k call spaceship porn, having a big spaceship on the image and the book cover, have this thrilling space adventure advertised to your sci-fi audience, and then maybe have some rainbows and focus on the fact that the main characters are LGBTQIA audience, that there is representation there, and you can get 2 streams of sales this way. Number 8, and yes, I'll finish on, alright. You should identify and fix your mistakes, because few books are perfect. And sometimes, even if books are near perfect, they won't sell out good. So you have to identify what is wrong with your book, why it is not selling, and try to fix this. You have to try different stuff. I mean, if an ad is not selling, if it's not converting, try switching things and see what works better, or why. Switch the audience targeting, switch the image, switch the text, and see what works. Bear in mind, what worked 6 months ago may not work today, because trends change, or your audience has been depleted. If your book is too cheap or too expensive, change the price. If people buy book 1 and they don't follow to book 2, maybe you should rewrite it. Maybe if book 1 sets up a lot of things and people who have read book 2 and book 3 say, oh, it gets much better and I'm hooked, and I'll read every book you've published, like it happened with Me and Cradle by Will White, then yeah, bundle them. Get 3 books for the price of 2. That's a great value for your reader, and by the point they finish book 3, they're hooked, they will go forward. You get more sales this way, and also if they would just drop the book midway through book 1, they pay double. It's a win-win, and it's great value. You get more money out of this way, and the reader does get more books for their buck. That's marketing. You had a trilogy and it's selling amazingly well. 100 people buy book 1 and 80 of them finish the trilogy, but there is no book 4. Write a spin-off, write a prequel, write a sequel trilogy. Do whatever you want, write another series in this world, and tie it together, or write a multiverse of all your series, and now people have to read all 30 of your different series. Finally, number 9, and we return to my number 1 point. Build a brand of your books, not the other way around. Unless, of course, you're a celebrity, then you're the brand and the books are just a side product. But yes, you as an author are a side product of your book. You're not the product. You're the provider. You're the brand that produces the product. And your focus should always be your book in your marketing, not yourself. Because yourself, people don't care about yourself. You're not that interesting. So I hope this video helped you. If you want more marketing videos like that, or maybe, me answering some questions as a professional, I guess, feel free to comment below. Maybe I can do a live stream about this if there is interest, or make a sequel video. Again, I have no proven success as a fiction author marketer in the US, so bear this in mind. I may be speaking out of my ass. I may be talking about things I don't understand. I don't have the hard numbers to prove my success. Actually, fiction book I tried to market in the US was a resounding failure because people just didn't want to read it, which is a shame because it was a very interesting book. And it's a book that has fascinated me, and I want to tell the author, you know what, I want to take your book concept and rewrite it as a different book in 3 or 4 years. So yeah, hope you like this video. You can make your own response video to this, telling me about how wrong I am or where I'm right or what should I change. But yeah, basically, you're not the brand. Find your audience, package your book the way your audience wants it, and don't be ashamed of marketing it, because people want your book. They just don't know it's there. So yeah, tell them it's out there, it's for you. And yeah, that's marketing in a nutshell. Thank you for watching.